What's up guys, this is Rise and welcome to another video. We're shoutcasting your battles today, and this trainer is using a Pokemon that's quite good in other leagues but doesn't see a lot of play in the Master Premier Cup, and that Pokemon is Empoleon. A lot of people like to use it in the Ultra League where it has some great viability, great against the Swamperts, that steel typing resists the fairies, the dragons, and it even holds its own against Venusaur with that Drill Peck in the Ultra League. But this trainer is using it in the Master Premier Cup. Empoleon, a perfect Empoleon maxes out around 2900 CP, and this trainer's Empoleon is almost perfect. It's at 2893, so just barely not perfect. I assume probably like a 15, 14 by that CP, and we're gonna get into these battles to see how Empoleon fares up in the Master Premier Cup. This trainer is going to pair Empoleon with Dragonite and Garchomp. Saad Munir is this trainer, so thank you for these submissions, Saad. If you want me to shoutcast your battles, guys, make sure to send them, link in the description. Just fill out a quick Google form, and we see right away Empoleon with a great lead against the Swampert. It's about as much as you can ask for. I do say that, but you also have to be wary of the Earthquake. If the Swampert is carrying Earthquake, you do have to shield this. Earthquake would one-shot this Empoleon, so he correctly shields the Earthquake, which is amazing. The Swampert carrying Sludge Wave, this would be a really straightforward matchup. With Earthquake, it makes it a little bit trickier. Does this Swampert get to the Earthquake? It doesn't get to the second one, so good to know there probably for future matchups that it can't get to two Earthquakes if it takes the charge move. Empoleon gonna just go for this Drill Peck for some nice neutral chip damage against the Dragonite. These waterfalls are resisted by that dragon typing. Still is tanky enough to eat these dragon breaths and get to a Hydro Cannon. Probably should have just went for the Drill Peck because they're the same energy, but it doesn't really matter. Goes in with Dragonite. Unfortunately, this Dragonite has a lot of energy, so it's probably going to get to another Dragon Claw after this Dragon Claw very quickly. Yep, it had two stored up already. This is going to really hurt, and these Dragonites may just kind of cancel out each other. He gets this Dragon Claw right before he goes down, which is good because the Garchomp wouldn't have been able to Mudshot the Dragonite down very well. Unfortunately, there's a Mamoswine in back, so this Garchomp is in a terrible position, and Mamoswine is going to one-shot it with an Avalanche. Of course, Ground and Dragon. Garchomp is double weak to Ice, so not the Pokemon that Garchomp wanted to see in the back. Going up in this next match against R9887. He lost that first one, but know that Saad, he does pretty well overall in these sets. He's in the 2100 range. So let's see. Metagross is a great lead. It's about as much as you can ask for. Swaps into Gyarados, which still isn't a bad matchup. Not a bad matchup for Empoleon. It's a Waterfall Gyarados. Switches into Dragonite, makes sense. Does have to worry a little bit about the Outrage, especially since this Gyarados has farmed up quite a bit of energy. Dragon Claw gets the shield. If I was him, I would shield this just to be safe. Yep, he commits the shield. And it's a Hydro Pump. Okay, interesting. Very rare to run Waterfall and Hydro Pump on a Gyarados. Metagross comes in. This Meteor Mash will do quite a bit of damage, but he's not going to shield it. He's going to save his shield. And he still gets this Dragon Claw for some nice chip damage here. Chips away at the Metagross. And he has two great answers to the Metagross in back, so it makes sense why he didn't commit a shield there. This Metagross is almost in Sand Tomb range. Unfortunately, it just barely gets to this Meteor Mash, so he's going to have to shield. Meteor Mash is probably going to be the hardest hitting thing coming his way. Now he's going to go for the aggressive Mud Shot down, and he gets it. That's huge. Tons of energy. It's a Machamp in the back. He can pretty easily win this just by going double Outrage. The Empoleon actually does not want to see the Machamp. He actually lands the Outrage, which is crazy. Now he can just go straight Sand Tomb. The Machamp still has one shield, but the opponent realized the game is over, and he quits the match. I guess calling the bait might have been his only play there, because Garchomp can eat like two cross chops. Garchomp is rather tanky in the Master Premier Cup once it reaches its full potential in terms of CP. Marv Ash 88 is the next opponent for Sod. The Emperor Penguin against the Magnezone. Not a good lead for Empoleon. Magnezone challenging the Emperor's rule. Is he going to go straight for the Wild Charge? He is. Okay, so Empoleon gets one shot. But this trainer has a Garchomp, and for some reason the opponent is electing to stay in. We do not know why. Maybe the opponent only has one answer for Garchomp. Maybe it's double steal. Makes sense. Garchomp has a ton of energy though, so this Gyarados is not too much of a problem in its way. Opponent correctly shows the Outrage, but he's already at another Outrage. That Mud Shot charges up energy so fast. Gets both shields. Now he's in a pretty comfortable position. His Dragonite also has a pretty decent matchup here. So yeah, switching makes sense. And his opponent's not switching out. So I'm really curious what's in back. Because if there's like a Metagross in back, his opponent should have swapped out right away. It is a Metagross. Yeah, so I think kind of wasted that energy. Because you didn't really need to expend that energy. You could have saved that for later. Because Metagross can handle this Dragonite. So his opponent, Sod's opponent, makes a big mistake right there by wasting that energy on Gyarados. I guess now he can, he's going to try and Bullet Punch down, but I don't think he can. Yeah, these Dragon Breaths almost take out the Metagross, so Metagross is forced to expend its energy here. And at this point, he still has a shield. He can just Mud Shot down this Metagross, and he has an Outrage ready to go. And at less than 50% health, this Outrage will be more than enough to take out the Gyarados. GG's. Yeah, the opponent had just swapped immediately to Metagross. I think that might have flipped the endgame in that match. So take notes. I'm starting to win games in Go Battle League myself. I'm at a 2761 right now. I was at number 300 something on the leaderboard today. So I'm getting my credibility back now that I can actually win some games. Another decent lead against Swampert. Because the Swampert swapped, I assume it probably had Sludge Wave. That's probably a good tell. Throwing the energy to soften up this Dragonite makes sense, because now he can probably just... actually, I'm not sure if he can Dragon Breath down from this range. It'd be really close. Maybe you just throw the Dragon Claw to be safe. Okay, he does Dragon Breath down. That's huge. In comes Metagross. Yeah, might as well go for the hard-hitting Hurricane, because you have two nice Metagross counters in back. Empoleon is going to be double resisting these bullet punches from Metagross. And Garchomp, of course, has that Sand Tomb that hits for super effective and the Mud Shots. Oh, man. And his opponent expends energy. Not the correct play. Another misplay by the opponent, but let's see if he can take advantage. And I think it's fine, guys, like showing you battles at all elo scores. This is around like the 2150 range. But like, even if there's sometimes we see misplays, you can never stop learning. Tho Tectical was talking today, one of the best trainers in the world, saying how like there's always something to learn. So I think even if we see some misplays within these games, there's always stuff we can learn from that. Sharpen up our own games with that. Swampert, a Hydro Cannon will still be enough to take out the Empoleon at this range. He has the Garchomp in back still. Swampert has energy. The Metagross is super low. It's in Mud Shot down range, so he doesn't have to worry about saving energy for the Metagross. Outrage might be enough to KO from this range. Let's see. It is enough to KO. And yep, one Mud Shot takes out the Metagross. So GG's. Swampert, another great pick in the Master Premier Cup. But that Garchomp is just so much higher CP than Swampert that it definitely has a good matchup there. The Outrage. And Outrage is also one of the most energy efficient moves. It's just one of the best moves in general. This is a phenomenal matchup against the Glaceon. The opponent swapped out right away. Oh my goodness. Maybe he didn't have an answer for Empoleon. And the Emperor was just like, I rule. And the opponent had no answer for the Penguin. Just too scary. Yeah, because every single move Glaceon can throw at Empoleon's going to be either double resisted, except for Last Resort would be single resisted. But yeah, that water steel typing double resist ice and double resist steel. The Togekiss swapped out, so now he's in Dragonite versus Machamp. Correctly shields the Rock Slide, which is great. Because now, if his opponent doesn't shield this, he'll probably be able to just Dragon Breath down. His opponent does shield. Interesting. It seemed... Yeah, it's hard to count when it's sped up like this. So it was a Rock Slide that he correctly shielded. Can still get to this Hurricane against the Togekiss, so this isn't that bad. Hurricane does a ton of damage against Togekiss. Look at that. And now Togekiss is going to be super low. And it really has nothing that can threaten this Empoleon. Doesn't even get to a Flamethrower. Flamethrower is the only thing that could really threaten the Empoleon. And it's a Charizard in back. And even though the Fire Spins deal neutral and the Blast Burn deals neutral, like these Waterfalls just chunk away so much. This has to be a Blast Burn to take it out. Yeah. But at this point, shields are down. Garchomp can survive a Blast Burn because of that Dragon typing. It's single resisted. It's a Dragon Claw, makes sense. Dragon Claw is super effective, so it'd be more energy efficient in this situation. But Charizard is kind of squishy as is, so in Outrage, more than enough to take it out. Charizard probably not the best Pokemon to choose in the Master Premier Cup, just because its CP is so low, man. Like, it's toast against the Dragonite. It's toast against a lot of things. I guess it does have some play, like it's good against Metagross, but its CP is so low it can't even survive like 2 Meteor Mashes. Okay. This is interesting. Another just immediate quit. Oh my goodness. Hard countered the Gardevoir in the beginning, and then hard countered the Magnezone. And yeah, guys, Magnezone, take another note from that trainer. Magnezone is not a safe swap at all. Magnezone you should run either in the lead or in the back, but not as a safe swap, because if you swap into Magnezone and they swap into like a Garchomp, you're pretty much done. You pretty much just lose instantly. Unless you're like running Flash Cannon and you surprise them. Alright. Another Machamp switch in, and he counters with Dragonite. I think you're best off always shielding the first one. I think they're less likely to bait on the first one. The thing is, they only get to 2 rocks. They only get to 2 moves no matter what. So like baiting is kind of pointless. Probably, yeah, just let the Dragonite go at this point. Dragonite did its job, and you definitely don't want to expend a shield just like when you have a great answer for this Togekiss and Empoleon. Get ready to switch right away, because Garchomp does not want to see this thing. Gets to this, okay, overfarmed by 1 Waterfall, interesting, and then goes for the Hydro Cannon. Takes out the Togekiss, which is great. Okay, this is gonna be tough. I think he has to bait with Sand Tomb in order to win this. Has to shield the Dragon Claw. Like, he's probably gonna get to another. Oh man, I don't know if he can win this. This will do a lot. Yeah, there's no way, right? Yeah, opponent still has a shield. So he loses one, but he's won most of these. He lost the first one, and that's only the second one he's lost. So 4-1 in that first set, I believe. Going against KK9. Like a K9 maybe. Maybe he's running Arcanine. Are we going to see a Snarl Wild Charge? Arcanine. No, we're probably going to see an Air Out, it looks like, because this is taking so long. Air, that's okay. I was playing UFC 4 today, and there was this super weird glitch that happened 2 times in a row where like the fight would happen, but it was still on the loading screen. So like I was fighting, but I couldn't see the fight. I could only see the loading screen, but I could like hear that the fight was happening, and I couldn't see the fight, so I just had to like exit out. kind of stunk. It gave me 2 losses. So it's not just Niantic having problems. It's EA too. EA as well. Got another great lead against that Togekiss, and now he can put in his Dragonite against this Swampert. Honestly, if I'm this trainer, I don't bother throwing a charge move. I just Dragon Breath this all the way down if I can. Use your judgment, because if he gets to like 4 Hydro Cannons, you put yourself in a tough spot. But so I guess throwing 1 is fine. Oh my god, he got a shield. That's insane that he actually got a shield. Definitely don't shield this. Now it's worth throwing the Dragon Claw since you got a shield. And like the reason I said that before is because basically, oh my gosh, what is going on? He got both shields there. Now Garchomp's going to have 2 shields in the back. Correctly shields the flamethrower, which is nice. Can just waterfall down and has energy ready for whatever comes in. It's a Metagross, so man, yeah, this is game, set, match. Empoleon going to weaken this up with a Hydro. Switches out to avoid being farmed down. Makes sense. This is going to be the hardest hitting thing coming his way, so makes sense shielding the Meteor Mash. I wonder what would have been the better play there, Sand Tomb or Outrage. Outrage probably does more damage for sure. Could have just probably taken out the Metagross, but I guess maybe he wanted energy for this Swampert. So I guess that makes sense. Now he can just Sand Tomb the Swampert. Metagross is super low, and he can just Mud Shot it down anyway. So didn't really matter, I don't think, what he went for. His play did the trick just fine. Not sure how many more battles we have. He sent me 2 full sets, so we're going through 2 sets. Going against Ryomi Toro. Ryomi Toro. Another good lead. Empoleon has a lot of great leads, as we're seeing in this meta. So even though what it lacks in CP, it makes up for in its like coverage and its role against the meta. Gets a shield with the Hydro Cannon, amazing. If it's a Meteor Mash, he doesn't need to shield. Psychic, that's resisted too. Look, doesn't even do that much. Opponent comes in with a Dragon Breath Gyarados. So this is actually probably his best response for it. Shields the Crunch, makes sense. Now he's probably going to switch into Dragonite after this. But the Dragonite Dragon Breath Gyarados matchup is very close, but since it's so weak, doesn't really matter. I think he's probably just going to eat a charge move and farm down. This Crunch will still hurt though. So Gyarados or Dragonite's going to be pretty low, but it does have energy. I guess it gives the Metagross less farm. I assume Metagross comes in. Yeah, just go for the Hurricane. 1 Hurricane I think hits slightly harder than 2 Dragon Claws. Gets the shield, that's fine. Come in with... Honestly, he can't Bullet Punch you down, so maybe Empoleon would have been the play there. Once again, this is going to be most likely the hardest thing coming his way. It's a Psychic, that's right. Almost forgot about that. Going for the Sand Tomb to soften it up, maybe put it in farm down range. Opponent switches into Machamp. Okay, yeah, Outrage is going to really hurt. Unless this Machamp has like close combat, I don't see a win condition. Probably just a Cross Chop coming. Rock Slide, that's resisted. Ground resist rock, everybody. Just so you know. And can get to the Sand Tomb before the Metagross can get to a move. Even if the Metagross took out the Garchomp, the Bullet Punches are double resisted because of that Water Steel typing of Empoleon. So I think he would have been fine even if he didn't beat him to the Sand Tomb. But it looks like that's the end of the video. Thank you to Sod for sending me those Empoleon battles. Super cool. Looks like Empoleon has a very useful role within these Master Premier meta. Hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.